There are so many roles within AI that you can get into. I think a lot of times we think there are only technical roles or a few roles that you have to be super technical to get into, when in reality, there are so many roles that are not only in demand in 2024, but continuing to be in demand looking forward.
Yeah, but you need a computer science degree for any of these roles.
Actually, you're wrong. There are so many certifications that you can take in order to upskill. I mean, yes, certain roles require certain degrees, certain backgrounds. We're not saying that, but there are also so many roles that don't. And that's what we're gonna cover in this video.
Okay, fine. I want to hear you out. Tell me more.
All right, let's get started. Well, before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave in the comments or vote in the comments what video you wanna see next. And all right, now, I need to go get coffee actually. Let's go get some coffee. Actually, not just any coffee. We're going to do mushroom. Can you see that? Mushroom coffee. I've been on a kick lately because it doesn't give me the jitters as much. And for anyone out there who drinks a lot of coffee, which if you work in tech, I know you do, this is a good option. Any mushroom coffee. I'm not promoting this brand, but it's really good. Anyways, the first one on the list is machine learning engineer. And here's why. Machine learning engineer is responsible for designing, developing, basically implementing systems, these AI systems at different companies. And this is so important because machine learning engineers are not only responsible for writing the code, but actually understanding how these algorithms work. We got the mug, check. So when you think of machine engineer, you can think of it as someone who is responsible for creating different types of algorithms. I'll list them up here on screen that essentially allows for these systems to think, or if you will, without the need for humans.
And I will be giving real-world examples, so you never forget it.
Well, she's so annoying.
All right, here's a good example. Think about at Netflix, machine learning engineers have designed very specific systems for the recommendation system. And these systems analyze an individual's viewing history, search history, everything they have done essentially on Netflix. And as a result, the personalized recommendation engine not only just suggests what to watch next, but also, get this is pretty cool, will create custom artwork based on your behavior. So if there is a movie that two users have watched, and those same users that watch that one movie go on to watch different movies. So they have similar behavior in some ways, but then also too they have different interests. That a new movie might be recommended to them both, the same one, but because of some of their favorite actors, movies that they typically gravitate to, if that actor is in there, two actors that are different, person one will see their favorite actor, person two might see a completely different actor in the movie, of course, based on their viewing history and preferences. That kind of blew my mind how personalized it is already. Thank you, machine learning engineers, for, well, making me watch a lot of Netflix.
Coming in at number 2 is data scientist. And I think this is a really hot role still right now, mainly because there is more demand than there are individuals who are data scientists. And this is what we saw a few years ago when it came to software developers. I mean, obviously software developers are still very in demand, but a few years ago, we saw this huge boom with coding boot camps, all of this, that really took off for many of the reasons being the demand for them was so high and the roles couldn't be filled in time. Now, same thing is happening with data scientists. We are seeing this happen kind of throughout the country, North America, even some places in Europe, that this is happening where companies need data scientists faster than they can hire for them. So what exactly are some skills for a data scientist? Data scientists combine expertise in statistics, mathematics, computer science to really extract meaningful insights from large and complex data sets. And they use various techniques such as predictive modeling, data mining, and so many other techniques to really make sure that they are informing the business side of things or consulting different stakeholders within the business on the data that is working. What are the results? Not only do data scientists and data analysts, depending on what role you are in particular between the two, but they are responsible for analyzing the data, understanding it, but then also too, in some roles, presenting it to the stakeholders, which I think is kind of cool because you get the best of both worlds. You get the technical side, but then also to the human soft skill side. Let's taste this, let's see how it goes. It's good, it's so good. The key is not to put too much of the powder in. All right, let's go to the office. Or wait, second Tiff, give an example.
They would analyze historical sales data, seasonal trends, economic indicators, and even social media sentiment to predict future product demand. And understanding this future product demand business will actually take that into consideration for inventory levels, what to order for next season. This is how they are able to accurately, or almost accurately, predict the future, it feels like.
Coming in at number 3 is AI researcher, and I think this one, AI theoretical researcher, and this role is so fascinating to me, especially if you are someone who maybe doesn't want as technical of a role to get into, or maybe you are in a technical role and wants to shift into a little bit less of one. This is for you. AI researchers are essentially responsible for coming up with new ways to not only utilize AI, but also uncover new cutting-edge AI technologies. They are at the forefront of AI research.
Okay, this is a really cool example. Stay with me here. I had to write some of this one down. So at DeepMind, researchers are working on something called AlphaFold. Now listen to this. On AlphaFold, they tackle one of biology's grand challenges, which is essentially to predict how proteins fold based on their amino acid sequence. Okay, stay with me because this is pretty cool on how AI research comes into play. So basically what they will do is they develop deep learning models, which we are all familiar with, which can understand the intricate physical and chemical properties of proteins. I mean, that's pretty cool if you ask me. And I mean, when you think about the implications for this role with the discoveries of it, I mean, comes down to understanding diseases, even helping create new enzymes for environmental cleanup. I mean, it's mind-blowing and it's way past my pay grade, but this role is fascinating. It's very interesting.
Okay, coming in at number 4 is NLP engineer, natural language processing engineer. And this is a really cool role, I think especially right now for all the, advancements with chatbots in particular and still getting so much attention on them. So what exactly is an NLP engineer? An NLP engineer specializes in creating systems that can understand, interpret, and generate human language. So this involves developing algorithms for tasks such as language translation, sentiment analysis, speech recognition, and text summarization.
All right, so we had to throw a Google example in here. So at Google, NLP engineers, an example of what they might work on would be, say, Google Assist. And what they would do is focus on improving and growing its understanding or context with the human language. And I mean, this could involve building models essentially that would be able to distinguish between context, understand and respond to sarcasm, and even recognize and adapt to different accents, which is pretty cool.
And coming at number 5 is computer vision engineer. This is a really cool role. We've made, even on our YouTube channel, we've made some really interesting little small Python computer vision projects, and just the challenges and problems, both challenges and problems that computer vision can solve and also create in some ways is super fascinating. So if you are someone who is a visual person, I think this could be a really interesting role for you. So what exactly do computer vision engineers do? Well, for one, they are in charge of building and creating algorithms to analyze different videos or images, detect different parts of it. So in the example that we've created on our channel or on my channel that I've created with you is detecting, say, the face of someone, being able to recognize that to solve a different problem. In the example that we did in my YouTube channel, it was to solve the problem of me drinking, well, too much coffee, which I guess I'm still kind of guilty for, if we're being honest here. But what it will do is you can then take that image or what you are detecting and then solve a problem through that.
All right, for computer vision, we had to throw in an electric vehicle, so let's use Tesla in this example. So at Tesla, an example of how computer vision engineers might work, so one of their roles or one of their things they might work on is, say, developing systems that instantly recognize objects or things on the road so the cars don't run into them. But it's really cool. Not only are they developing those systems, they are also understanding then how to constantly improve them. Okay, so once the system detects something on the road, how quickly can it react to it? What is its next move? You have so many things to think about when you really take a step back from not only the system has to understand what's in front of it, but what's to the side with all these different sensors. And how can you tell if, identify if something is, say, a sign on the road, on the side of the road, like stop sign, versus a person that might get hit? I think it's really fascinating, this role, and as I mentioned earlier, just understanding about computer vision and its capabilities and possibilities is so exciting to me. So if you're a computer vision engineer, you've got one of my I think all of these are my dream jobs, but that's one of them for sure.
And coming in at number 6 is AI ethicist. This is such another cool role, especially if you are someone who maybe doesn't come from a technical background, but wants to really get into AI in particular. And AI ethicists are responsible for ensuring that the AI systems that are being built are doing so responsibly. This is one of the biggest roles out there, if you were to ask me, with a lot of thought and care having to go behind it. AI ethicists are often in a lot of different team meetings, from product to business, all understanding the reasoning behind why we are creating these systems and also how they are being created.
All right, here's an example. Let's use Microsoft. We're going through all the big tech companies today. At Microsoft, say you are an AI ethics specialist, and something you might be working on is, say, facial recognition. Now, hear me out on this. We're not talking about computer vision anymore. We're talking about the ethics side of it. So more so on the ethics side, reviewing the company's technology for facial recognition. Things such as analyzing the data to make sure it represents a diverse population, testing the system's accuracy across different demographics, and developing guidelines for its appropriate use. So you have quite a big role in, you are not only analyzing the systems, making sure it's not biased, seeing where it's at, but then also to setting out guidelines. This is pretty cool.
And coming in at number 7 is AI product manager. And this is a really pretty straightforward one, similar to a product manager. If you are interested in specifically AI, this role is for you. And the good thing is too, is I have seen so many software developers, quality assurance engineers, people from all different roles get into product management. And this, I think, is a really good way to take the next step in getting into an AI role by getting into a product management role, because it just kind of has that AI title on top of it, with the understanding you have to be very knowledgeable with AI. You know, product managers are responsible for having many conversations with different developers, different team members. They need to be not necessarily technical, but really understand the technical side of things in order to lead this team and have proper conversations with the developers and other team members. I just think it's really exciting though, because a lot of product managers, or even people, as I mentioned, who aren't, might want to become a project manager, and having the ability to specialize in AI is pretty cool.
All right, let's use the example for this one as someone who works at Spotify as an AI product manager, because Spotify is doing some pretty cool things over there with their AI systems. I mean, have you seen the Spotify DJ? I know some of that's not AI, but obviously a majority of it is, or a huge portion of it is, and it's pretty cool what they're working on. So as an AI product manager at Spotify, something you might work on is the development of a new feature that creates ultra-personalized playlists. So this would involve working with data scientists to understand what is with their recommendation algorithms, collaborating with UX designers to, you know, create an intuitive interface, and even helping conduct some research alongside UX to understand what these users really want. With a product manager role in AI and even outside of AI, you are wearing so many different hats.
And the last one is robotics engineer. This is a really cool role. I mean, not only do you get to work with software and AI, but you also get to understand the hardware piece of it. And I really think this will be the next wave of technology that we see. You know, we went from really seeing AI take off to being extraordinarily in demand, to say the very least. The next wave, I predict, will be with robotics. So really merging AI and hardware together. It just seems like the natural next step. And this is really interesting, because if you are someone, again, that doesn't come from a technical background, or maybe you have a technical background but are more interested in the hardware side, there is so much opportunity for you. This role contains a few different areas, things such as mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, but then also computer science. And no, you don't need 3 degrees in each in order to qualify for this role. But having a strong understanding or expertise in at least 1 or 2 of these, probably 2, will really help get you there.
For this example, let's use Boston Dynamics, because I think they're one of the most famous robotic companies right now. Say you are a robotics engineer working at Boston Dynamics. First of all, cool job. What would you be doing? Well, say you are working on improving the robot's mobility, enabling it to navigate even more challenging terrains like steep stairs or loose gravel. And I mean, this could involve developing advanced balance algorithms and designing more responsive actuators. You also might be working on new applications for the robot, so thinking ahead as to what's to come, working on different features. This is a role that we are going to see more and more of, I think, especially as I mentioned earlier, robotics continues to grow in demand, which we have continued to see. All right, those are the top in-demand AI jobs, not only for 2024, as I mentioned, but also looking ahead. It's really exciting when you think about how much opportunity is out there for us. I think it's pretty incredible. All it takes is really you to be interested in it and then to get started. I'm not saying it's that easy, but that is the first step. Finding your network, building it up, learning about these different roles, which you just did throughout this video, and then taking a course, seeing where it goes. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more tech, future tech, coding, all the good stuff related videos. Leave in the comments what topics you want me to cover. That is how I make these videos. All right, I think I'm caffeinated up for a long time now. I'll see you all soon. Bye, everyone.